have consistently maintained that I would have removed the fuel subsidy. If you go to my manifesto, it's there. Steps I would have taken to do it in an organized manner. There was nothing wrong in removal of subsidy. What is wrong is the haphazard way in which it was announced and implemented. Everybody knows that the subsidy regime was a solution of criminality, that there was a lot of corruption surrounded with it, which you needed to bundle that aspect out of it, do it in an organized manner. And since you're doing it for savings, we're told we're doing it because we don't want to continue to borrow to continue the subsidy. And the removal of it will be able to have available funds to be invested in critical area of development. With honest things, billions saved. Where is it? Where is he invested in those critical areas of development?
They said they've given the money to the governors. That's what.
No.
They said they've increased their FAC allocation.
We're fine.
They said most of the states are able to pay them.
Everybody knows what critical areas of development is. And I say it morning, afternoon, night. It is education, health, and pulling people out of poverty. Rufai, is any of these three, has it improved? No.
The Minister of Health said they're getting new primary health care centers. As regards education, they said they have done NEL Fund, where they give student loan to people. As regards infrastructure, they talk about Postal Road and all that.
Let me just finish, Rufai. What I'm saying is, if you look at this, so you have removed this. People are paying more for fuel. It has escalated cost of everything, and we are not seeing where. The same thing with what you're talking about, issue of Naira. There's nothing wrong with floating your currency. There's nothing wrong in even devaluing your currency. But you do this when you have productivity. What devaluation or floating does is that your currency becomes, in terms of value, low. You attract investment. Your products becomes unmarketable. But where we are unproductive, you have nothing to sell. So it's a double whammy. So in all this, I would have done the same thing in an organized manner.
Hello, great people. You just watched the interview of Mr. Peter Obi on Arise News, and you heard his submission as regards oil subsidy removal and other government policies. The presidency has been reacting to this particular submission of Mr. Peter Obi, and I'll be taking you through the reaction of the presidency in a moment. Then we'll be dissecting the submission of Mr. Peter Obi. How logical is it? What are the truth and untruth in what he has said? And is his assertion the best for Nigeria? What could Bola Tinubu, the president, have done differently? We'll be doing all this and a whole lot more on this episode with your sure plug, Dr. Omosoladeji. Now, when this video was released, Daniel Bwala, one of the media aides to the president, responded to that particular video, and he had a lot of strong words for Mr. Peter Obi, and his reaction wasn't fair at all, and I can tell you that his reaction wasn't presidential. And by the time we are through analyzing his reaction, then you would either agree with me or disagree with me. The media aide to the president, Daniel Bwala, refers to Mr. Peter Obi as a shallow personality, not grounded in issues of governance. You can imagine that you are referring to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, somebody that has over 6 million votes. Perhaps maybe you think people that gave him that over 6 million vote are stupid. Well, if they are stupid, are the people of Anambra State that gave him their votes for different 2 terms, are they really stupid in the true sense of it? No, they are not, because Mr. Peter Obi was a governor of Anambra State for 8 solid years. So if you are a governor for 8 solid years and you have received the mandate of the people, isn't it shocking that somebody that have never faced the people, that somebody that have never had the position to occupy an elected office? I think Daniel Bwala has contested before, or made attempt to contest, but he failed. I think he was trying to connect for Senate, and the person holding that position is Ali Ndume, the popular senator from Borno State. Now, Daniel Bwala is calling Peter Obi a shallow personality, not grounded in issue of economics and governance. So you can imagine that, okay, because somebody has made the submission, you think that, oh, he is agreeing with your boss, which will come into in a moment. Then you are now saying that such a person is shallow in governance. And let me read the statement of Daniel Bwala to you. Let me read some of it to you. Daniel Bwala says he seems to have very shallow knowledge, or that means that he is Peter Obi. He seems to have very shallow knowledge of economics and governance. I continue. It says, remember, this is even an interview anchored by a member of his obedient movement. Now, let me touch on that before going to the next paragraph. Now, you are saying that the interview was anchored by a member of his obedient movement, that is Rufai Oseni. I stand to be corrected. I'm not sure Rufai Oseni has publicly identified himself as a member of the obedient movement. So you can see that sometimes, you may like to kind of like agree with the president. Sometimes you may just want to reason in your own way and kind of like make meaning out of all the things that are happening But the presidential aides are usually not helping matters. You can respond to the video of Mr. Peter Obi without throwing shades. Now, your attention should be on Peter Obi, but then you left Peter Obi, you focus on Rufai Oseni. That is a bit unpresidential. And definitely, the aides of the president should not be using unprintable words, which takes me to the next statement, which is that it says, and I quote, "That's why you don't hear I put it to you and no barking like a Rottweiler." You can imagine, you see, when you are a presidential aide, you are the mouthpiece of the president, you are the orator of the president, you are the microphone of the president. So imagine that the leader, one of the leaders of the opposition, was being interviewed, and a presidential aide, speaking in his capacity as a presidential aide, is using words that are unprintable. You are saying that one of the journalists in the country is barking like a Rottweiler. A presidential aide. No. You see, in Nigeria, we play too much. We joke too much. You see, sometimes, we claim to be civilized, but we act in a very terribly uncivilized manner. A presidential aide of the capital of the black race, of Nigeria, a sovereign nation, will be saying that no barking like a Rottweiler. Look at how low they are bringing the presidency of the country. Look at how unintelligent some of their submissions can be. You can make some very intelligent submission and critique without using unprintable words. And instead, yet, if he didn't dare, he didn't dare. I think he was trying to quote the Minister of FCT's popular words. That's Yeson Wike. So, for me, I think the response of Bwala leaves more to be desired from a presidential media aide. Now, Obi agree with government policies, according to Bwala. But then, Bwala said that Obi was criticizing Bola Tinubu because of power interest. That was according to Bwala. But is that truly the case? Did Obi wholly agree with the submission of Bola Tinubu as regards the oil subsidy removal? Where I think that there is a part of agreement, there's a part of disagreement. The part of agreement is where Peter Obi said he too would have removed fuel subsidy. But the point of departure is that President Bola Tinubu did it without considering the pain of the Nigerian people. But Peter Obi said he would have done it gradually in such a way that it wouldn't have created hazard for the Nigerian people. So same policy, different approach. But it seems Bwala wasn't, super intelligent, or he was trying to, in his usual manner, manipulate it. So he just twisted in the way that he's so pleased. But in fairness, Peter Obi said he would have removed fuel subsidy, but then the approach is different. It's just like you want to solve a mathematical equation, but you have an approach and another person have an approach. So that means that you guys want to solve the same question, but you guys have different formula that will make you to arrive at the same answer. That is what is happening here. It is as simple as ABC. But then the presidency usually convince Nigerian people because they know that, Nigerian people, they are easy to be pushed around, but not every Nigerian anyway. Now, let us go to some of the things that Obi said in that particular video. Obi said that he would remove fuel subsidy, but gradually. I just touched on that. He also said that subsidy is a crime. Where are the criminals? Which is very brilliant. Where are the criminals? Subsidy, first subsidy is a crime. That's what we heard. But where are the criminals? So rather than for you to pursue the criminals, you decide to inflict the pain on the Nigerian people. That is not good enough because government exists for the interest of the majority of the citizens as asserted by Bentham and Mills. So for me, we should go after the criminals. So if we can remove the hand of the criminals, subsidy is not a crime anyway. If you look at it in Western world, government subsidize. They subsidize different kind of things. So it's not that subsidy is a crime. But then in Nigeria, the way we approach it, we have approached it with a criminal mindset. Now, another thing Peter Obi said, he said, Tinubu remove fuel subsidy to save and to generate more money for the government. Where is the money? Well, will anybody rule that away? In the sense that you said that you want to save, you want to generate more money for the government. That's why you remove first subsidy. You have removed the first subsidy, and government is still borrowing more than ever. So the question is, where is the money? So you can see what is happening. But then, people like Bwala, they will leave all those crucial points, but they would kind of like try to spin and come up with abuses. I usually say it, and people that know me, when I just started this platform, people that are my ardent viewers, they can testify to it that I don't subscribe to abuse. No, I go after the topic and the issues. You are unintelligent if all you do is abuse. There's a lot of things to dissect. There's a lot of things to discuss. So if you leave the issues, if you leave like the main point and you just go all ahead to abuse, that means that you don't really have anything to say and you are just trying to kind of like play with the mind of Nigerians. And Peter Obi has a major question. He said, as health, education, infrastructure, have they improved? Well, the big question is not really. There are some improvement, but there's no significant improvement that we can hold on to. And as regards infrastructure, you may want to question the cost of the Lagos-Calabar highway compared to the roads that are built in Ethiopia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin Republic, despite the fact that we have the same climate, we have, almost the same soil texture and more. So that leaves a big question. On health, has there been significant improvement? Well, your guess is as good as mine. On education as well, where is the significant improvement? Well, I just hope that Bola Tinubu will be able to accommodate criticism and caution his aides, and they go maybe on a refresher course on how to respond to criticism in a very intelligent way, just so that Nigerians can be able to see the government as being responsible for kind of like creating circum for the people and not hardship. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with your Short Blog, Dr. Omosholadiji. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.